Title: My pregnant wife announced, "These twins aren't yours, they're Chris's. I'm going back to him where I belong." I wished her luck and made a few calls. 2 weeks later, she was sobbing on my doorstep. Start. She said it with her hand on her stomach, like she was proud of it. Her eyes met mine across the dinner table, steady, unflinching. "These twins aren't yours, they're Chris's. I'm going back to him where I belong." For a second, the sound of my own pulse drowned out her words. Then came the silence, heavy, mocking. I didn't argue, didn't shout, didn't beg. I just set my fork down, leaned back in my chair, and whispered, "Then I wish you luck." That was the last thing I gave her freely. We'd been married 6 years. 6 years of building a life I thought was ours. I worked long hours, she decorated the house. We traveled, laughed, fought, made up. I believed in the us we sold to the world. Chris, he was my college roommate, my best man at the wedding, the one who toasted me with a grin and called me the luckiest guy alive. Turns out he wasn't lying. I was lucky, lucky to see the truth before it was too late. The signs had been there. A late text she swore was from her sister, her sudden new perfume, the way she avoided my eyes whenever Chris's name came up. But the real moment came 2 months ago. She was in the shower. Her phone lit up on the nightstand. A message from Chris. I still can't believe they're mine. My stomach turned cold. I read it twice, 3 times, the words burning deeper each time. I didn't confront her, not then. Rage is sloppy. I needed clarity. I needed proof. So I started collecting it. I called an old friend of mine, private investigator. Within a week, I had photos of her slipping into Chris's apartment, receipts of hotel rooms, phone records, enough to crush them both if I wanted the legal route. But legal wasn't enough. I didn't just want her gone. I wanted her broken. So I went to the bank, moved our savings into a private account she couldn't touch, froze the credit cards, transferred the house deed into my name alone. I'd paid for it after all. Then I made one more call. To Chris's wife. Yes, he had one. A quiet woman named Emily, who'd been living in ignorance while her husband played house with mine. I sent her everything. Every photo, every receipt, every text. I didn't need to write a message. The truth was loud enough. The fallout came fast. Emily filed for divorce, took half of Chris's assets and custody of their daughter. Chris, under financial strain and personal chaos, panicked. I heard from mutual friends he'd been fired, something about showing up drunk, slurring excuses. Meanwhile, my wife packed her bags and walked out, believing she was stepping into a life with him. She even smirked at me as she left, like she'd won some twisted game. I let her go, watched her car disappear. Then I waited. It didn't take long for the shine to wear off. Chris didn't have the money he used to. His apartment, small and dingy, wasn't fit for her designer tastes. Emily's divorce had gutted him, and his boss had no patience left. And Chris, he never wanted the responsibility, not really. Not the bills, not the crying at night, not her swelling belly and the 2 lives inside it. So he threw her out, just like that. And that's how, 2 weeks later, she stood on my doorstep. Eyes swollen from crying, clothes wrinkled, makeup smudged. "Please," she whispered, "I made a mistake." I let her cry for a full minute before I spoke, just long enough for her to hope. Then I asked one question. "When you told me those twins weren't mine, did you expect me to wait here for you?" She stammered, begged, promised. Her voice cracked on every word. I stepped aside, just enough for her to think I might let her in. Then I shook my head. "No, you chose him. You belong exactly where he left you." Her knees buckled. She sobbed into her hands. But I felt nothing. Not pity, not anger, just release. I closed the door on her, locked it, stood there in the quiet, listening to her footsteps fade. The house felt cleaner without her, lighter. She took my trust and tried to bury it in betrayal, but I dug it back up, sharper than before, and used it as a weapon. Now, when I look at the empty chair across the table, I don't see loss, I see victory. Because sometimes revenge isn't loud. It's not fire or fury. It's silence. It's control. It's watching the person who destroyed you realize they destroyed themselves. And when I think of her sobbing on my doorstep, I don't smile. I simply whisper to myself, I wished you luck, and you got exactly what you deserved.